Hi, I'm Stuart Crosswaite. I milk a herd of around 530 Holstein Friesian cows here at our farm, the Hermitage on the flats of the Kiewa River at Cogunga South in northeast Victoria with my wife Sarah. We have recently invested in a concrete feed pad and barn. Just a brief history. I'm the fifth generation of the Crosswaites to operate this farm business. In 2006, with my wife Sarah, we overtook the management of the farm from my parents. Since then, we have progressively increased annual milk production and cow numbers by upgrading the farm's irrigation system, renovating the pastures, fine-tuning grazing management, changing the herd breeding objectives, replacing older machinery, and building a new, larger rotary dairy in the centre of the farm. We've also changed from spring calving to split calving. With our climate, abundant river flats and irrigation water, we can grow lots of irrigated forages over the summer. So the farm is really suitable for spring calving. However, in recent years, we've become increasingly concerned that our spring calvers were struggling in the warm, hot conditions while in early lactation. We were seeing around a 20% reduction in their pregnancy rates, and that we were wasting a lot of feeding underneath fence lines. We were also finding it difficult to manage the spring calvers pre-calving transition program. So we began to consider investing in a facility that would enable us to adapt to these inadequacies of our climate, particularly the hot summers and the wet winters, while remaining committed to a grazing system. We wanted to be able to increase farm business profitability and whole farm efficiency. Many factors contributed to an overwhelming business case to invest in something like this, such as increasing milk production per cow by a further 10 to 15%, driving feed intake, providing greater cow comfort in the summer and the winter conditions. We wanted to change the calving system from 50-50 spring-autumn to 70-30 to better protect the pastures from damage during the winter and align the cow demand with pasture supply, while also increasing reproductive performance of the spring calvers in particular and sustaining their milk yields under warm, hot summer conditions, providing spring calvers with better pre-calving transition management as well. We also wanted to reduce the high wastage of silages occurring when we fed under the fence lines. We wanted to provide also a workplace and a set of work routines that make everything easier for us to attract and retain skilled employees. We knew that an earthen feed pad with modular troughs would probably not work on our river flats under our farming conditions, so we considered a concrete feed pad with troughs, but we then decided the best option was a concrete feed pad with a central drive alley and cow alley separated by a nib wall and post and rail feed barriers. We also realised that to achieve our aims, the feed pad would need probably a roof over it. We then decided we should spend more money and widen the facility to include loafing areas either side of the central drive alley and cow feeding alleys, so that it could accommodate cows comfortably under cover during the hot periods of the year, and also when paddocks and tracks were wet during the really wet times of winter. We were really keen to future-proof the facility as well, provide the loafing areas with a permanently housed structure that could accommodate at least 500 cows, and that gives us the next generation the freedom to take the farm in any direction they choose. We built the facility in 2022 at a total cost of around 1.8 million. It's 171 metres long by 49.7 metres wide with a 1% slope for flood washing and has an east-west orientation to maximise shade during the summer. The structure is a wide span with an open web truss, portal frame and a corrugated iron roof with an 18-degree pitch. It has a 6 metre wide central drive alley and an adjustable post and rail cow feed barrier. It also has 2 5-metre wide concrete cow feeding alleys, 2 loafing areas with a compost bedding pack, providing 530 cows with 12 metres squared spacing per cow. My shed design consultant was fantastic. He provided me with short animated videos with a commentary included to explain specific details of the shed, and the design took shape from all of that. These videos really helped me visualise what we were about to build when it was potentially completed. He also prepared detailed drawings ready for council and shed builders. Some of the key design features and benefits that we included are, on the sides we have a 6 metre clearance under the roof to provide more headroom above the pack near the eaves for safe movement of machinery. posts are encased in a PVC and concrete sleeve to about 1.5 metres high to protect the steel from corrosion, particularly from urine, manure, gases. Tipping water troughs every 20 metres behind each cow alley is also a feature which will make it easy to clean. Water flows in both directions via a ring main, which increases the pressure at the water trough, but it also just only requires a smaller pump. Feed pushing with a robotic feed pusher was an important consideration which we added to save labour. When flood washing each cow alley, a hinged flap at the catch point captures water and directs it into our effluent system. The flap is automatically raised by a truck airbag when flushing commences and deflates again when it's finished, dropping the catch lid. A local engineer and concreter came up with the novel system, and I can say it's an innovative solution we brought into our planning. Within just a few weeks of commissioning the feed pad, we established the compost bedded pack in the loafing areas, using sawdust as our starting compound, and we are progressively building it up. Managing the bedding pack is a key consideration. Monitoring the bedding, adding new bedding when needed, reducing the stocking rate is also a key management decision. We will install fans and lights in the next 12 months, but in the meantime, we're managing stocking rate and bedding during the cooler and wetter months of the year. For example, during winter, we were keeping the milkers in the shed between afternoon milking and morning milking. The cows are very happy, and having them so close to the dairy makes mornings really efficient. Cows exiting the dairy after morning milking go straight onto the concrete feed pad to eat a PMR and then make their way to their day paddock. After milking is completed, we till the cow's bedding and then leave it fluffed up to dry undisturbed until the afternoon milking. We might till it 2 or 3 times throughout the day depending on the conditions. Since the cows started using the shed overnight, they're not smashing the pastures like they used to, particularly the new pastures sown in the autumn. They're not eating them to the grounds and really hammering them. There's a really good residual left. So the shed is giving us the tool to manage wet times really efficiently and effectively. In summer, when cows are starting to feel hot in late morning, midday, and stop grazing, we will adopt a different daily strategy. We will bring them into the shed and provide them their PMR under cover with evaporative cooling provided by the sprinklers and fans. Milking will no longer be delayed until 5 to 6 p.m. on a hot day, as we used to do before we're having the facility. After exiting the dairy, cows will eat more PMR in the shed before walking to their night paddock around 6, 7 o'clock at night, with more time to graze pastures in the cooler evening conditions. This daily routine will enable milking staff to clean up and get home earlier and operate in a normal day. It's always easy to look back and think what you might have done differently. In hindsight, the whole planning process would have been more efficient, I reckon, if someone else was overseeing it and almost project managing it. I probably didn't consider everything as thoroughly as I should have. I significantly underestimated the electrical system and had a hiccup with the flood wash system design, held up the concrete a little bit. Construction of the shed would also have been easier if I had employed a project manager to oversee it. Although there were a few hiccups in the planning and execution of it, you know, we've got an amazing facility now to take the farm in any direction we like. It's going to open Pandora's box for, you know, how we manage the farm into the future. We're really excited with what we've put together. We're really proud of it, and we can't wait to see what we can put together. If you're considering a similar installation on your own property, I'd highly recommend getting in contact with the wonderful people at the Department of Ag and also Dairy Australia. They've got some amazing resources and people to help you navigate all of this.